Okay, let's try to run through this just very briefly. Dallas Cowboys, of course, hit the eject button on Mike McCarthy. That has not gone down well in the Dallas Cowboy locker room. They think McCarthy was a Mr. Fix-It man. He was a creative genius. Players like playing for Mike McCarthy. Players are privately grumbling. You let a coach go who won 12 games in 3 straight seasons, and you let him go after this 7-10 season wrecked by injuries? I get the sense Cowboy players don't agree with what Jerry Jones did. Burning question, where do they go? Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones. It's his team. He will make the decision. He doesn't care what you think or what I say. Jerry Jones calls Deion Sanders. However, during the course of conversation, it comes up. Coach Prime, Neon Deion, has an $8 million buyout right now. Jerry Jones is not going to spend $8 million on Neon Deion, even though some Cowboy players, a.k.a. Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, want him to hire Coach Prime. They are talking. And again, it's Jerry's team. Jerry's going to do what he wants. Jerry doesn't care what John Riley says. Jerry's talking to Jason Witten, legendary tight end, never coached a game anywhere. And you're talking to him about being your head coach? Is it based on him being really astute and good in terms of X's and O's and all that? Or you're talking to him because he won't stand up to you if you hire him as a head coach with no experience? Other wild card name is Cliff Kingsbury, who's the architect of what's gone on with the kid in Washington, Jaden Daniels. Cliff Kingsbury's been dynamic as an offensive guru, has done well everywhere statistically, failed at the end in Baylor, failed with the Arizona Cardinals, but has had success so far. Those are 3 hot names with the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy, an interview coming up with the Bears, interview next week with the New Orleans Saints. He wants to go where there is a quarterback. They got Caleb Williams in Chicago. They got Derek Carr in New Orleans. Maybe he winds up one of those jobs pretty quickly. Pete Carroll has had interviews, but for some reason there just seems to be pushback about the fact he's 73 going on 53 who acts like he's 33. I find it hard to believe you would ignore all the accomplishments of Pete Carroll, what he built in Seattle, and prior to that, what he did at USC. But Pete Carroll is waiting. Bears, Raiders seem to be the 2 that have expressed the most interest in Pete Carroll. Don't understand why there is all this pushback. Brian Flores did a good job in Miami, but the overall big picture being a head coach overwhelmed him. Kind of lost his locker room along the way. They hit the eject button. Went to Pittsburgh, did a good job 1 year for Mike Tomlin. Went to Minnesota. Hell of a job for Kevin O'Connell on the defensive side of the ball with the Vikings. He is a candidate, a couple of different places. I hear possibly New Orleans. But is he going to run out of places to go? Because there are so many other marquee names out there that could be hired. Next one is the coordinator of the year, Ben Johnson, Detroit. Ben Johnson can go anywhere he wants. It's really intriguing what's going on behind the scenes with the Raiders. Tom Brady is making the call on this. Tom Brady now privately has interviewed an front office executive who had been in Detroit 20 years, has been there with Johnson. Brady got along with this guy. Might they hire Ben Johnson, who then brings in his own, quote, knowledgeable, accomplished general manager? And those are the guys that are going to fix Raider football. A week ago, it looked as if they were leaning towards John Spytek in Tampa Bay, but this assistant guy resurfaced in Detroit with a track record of having been with Ben Johnson, so maybe you connect the dots there. The last one is Liam Coen, hot coordinator, Tampa Bay, the creative aspect of what Baker Mayfield did this year. He just interviewed in Jacksonville. He wants to go where there's a quarterback. Jacksonville's got Trevor Lawrence, and Jacksonville's got a lot of young guys. Jacksonville had a lot of injuries. Liam Coen seems like he might be the guy there. So there we are. You're not a closet Cowboy fan. You're not going to tell me who Jerry should hire. No, tell me who Jerry should hire and just run through the list. What do you think, don't think about those guys?
Well, I was looking at the list and I'm thinking, would any of those guys be considered a retread? And I'm thinking probably not. You know, even guys like Pete Carroll, they have legit success. Same with Mike McCarthy. But the whole thing about Coach Prime going to Dallas, to me, is fascinating. I was watching Michael Irvin. He was getting interviewed on a lot of the talk shows on FS1 the last couple of days. and he's in regular contact with Prime, right? You know, and but he made a good point. He said that Prime gets the whole Dallas Cowboys, America's team, the spotlight, the sparkle, the glitter, everything that comes with that.
Past tense.
But the media still focuses on Dallas, is America's team, and all of that. And he made a really good point that Prime is also a mentor of young men, you know, in a way that's very different than other NFL coaches. And I could see a lot of value in that coming to the NFL. But yeah, is Jerry going to pay an $8 million sign-out bonus? I don't know, but it would be weird for Prime to do a U-turn on college football after everything he's accomplished at Colorado. So, but I look at these other guys. I mean, you know, Ben Johnson's legit. He deserves a shot. I don't know much about Liam Coen. I know Brian Flores got screwed over in a kind of a racial Rooney Rule situation before. He likely deserves another shot, but there's only so many openings.
Well, there's 6. This is the most unique cross-section of candidates who've got accomplishments on their resume. I mean, I think it's just fascinating just to see how many good games guys have surfaced. Pete Carroll is not a retread. Mike McCarthy's not a retread. No. Pete Carroll's got 135 wins. Mike McCarthy's got 174 wins and been in the Super Bowl a bunch of times. So I think this is a cross-section of accomplishment here. Be interesting to see where these guys fall. What do you think about the Raiders?
I like the fact that Tom Brady is in there making decisions. It's like we got a rational mind that knows how to win. And I like how the Davis, you know, Mark Davis is giving him the slack to make those calls. I think that's a great thing for the Raiders. So, you know, if Ben Johnson came there, I mean, that's Brady's top choice, right? I mean, I think that'd be fantastic, but we keep hearing Chicago is where Ben Johnson's going to go.
Ben Johnson will probably have his choice. There's no quarterback. Hell of a lot of other things that are not in Las Vegas. There is the quarterback and a whole bunch of other people in Chicago. They just need somebody to mold it and deliver it. Once we get beyond the playoffs, these hirings are going to start to fall very, very quickly. And like I say, this is a really good cross-section of accomplished names who are head coaching candidates. Hey, we get to halftime.